Hello, I'm Willie from the Ozarks, and we are ready for our May the 12th lesson in A Course in Miracles Workbook for Students. Lesson 132. I loosed the world from all I thought it was. I loosed the world from all I thought it was. What keeps the world in chains but your beliefs? Wow, what keeps the world in chains but your beliefs? Wow, we're working with our beliefs here and our values as we talked about yesterday. And what can save the world except yourself? Belief is powerful indeed. The thoughts you hold are mighty, and illusions are as strong in their effects as is the truth. A madman thinks the world he sees is real and does not doubt it, nor can he be swayed by questioning his thoughts' effects. It is but when their source is raised to question that the hope of freedom comes to him at last. Yet is salvation easily achieved, for anyone is free to change his mind, and all his thoughts change with it. Now the source of thought has shifted, for to change your mind means you have changed the source of all ideas you think, or ever thought, or yet will think. You free the past from what you thought before. You free the future from all ancient thoughts of seeking what you do not want to find. The present now remains the only time. Here in the present is the world set free. For as you let the past be lifted and release the future from your ancient fears, you find escape and give it to the world. You have enslaved the world with all your fears, your doubts and miseries, your pain and tears, and all your sorrows press upon it, and keep it a prisoner to your beliefs. Death strikes it everywhere because you hold the bitter thought of death within your mind. The world is nothing in itself. Your mind must give it meaning, and what you behold upon it are your wishes, acted out so you can look on them and think them real. Wow, our beliefs are powerful indeed, aren't they? They make the world we see. Perhaps you think you did not make the world, but came unwillingly to what was made already, hardly waiting for your thoughts to give it meaning. Yet in truth you found exactly what you looked for when you came. There is no world apart from what you wish, and herein lies your ultimate release. Change but your mind on what you want to see, and all the world must change accordingly. Ideas leave not their source. This central theme is often stated in the text and must be borne in mind if you would understand the lesson for today. It is not pride which tells you that you made the world you see and that it changes as you change your mind. But it is pride that argues you have come into a world quite separate from yourself, impervious to what you think, and quite apart from what you chance to think it is. There is no world. There is no world. This is the central thought the Course attempts to teach. Wow, there is no world. This is the central thought the Course attempts to teach. Not everyone is ready to accept it, and each one must go as far as he can let himself be led along the road to truth. He will return and go still farther, and perhaps step back a while, and then return again. So we're moving forward and stepping back, moving forward and stepping back, being led by what we're able to accept. There is no world. This is the central thought the Course attempts to teach. Not everyone is ready to accept it, and each one must go as far as he can let himself be led along the road to truth. He will return and go still farther, or perhaps step back a while and then return again, but healing is the gift of those who are prepared to learn. There is no world and can accept the lesson now. Healing is the gift of those who are prepared to learn. There is no world and can accept the lesson now. Their readiness will bring the lesson to them in some form which they can understand and recognize. Some see it suddenly on point of death and rise to teach it. Near-death experience he's talking about. Others find it an experience that is not of this world, which shows them that the world does not exist, because what they behold must be the truth, and yet it clearly contradicts the world. And some will find it in this course and in the exercises that we do today. Today's idea is true because the world does not exist, and it is indeed your own imagining. And if it is indeed your own imagining, then you can loose it from all things you ever thought it was by merely changing all the thoughts that gave it these appearances. The sick are healed as you let go all thoughts of sickness, and the dead arise when you let thoughts of life replace all thoughts you ever held of death. A lesson earlier repeated once must now be stressed again, for it contains the firm foundation for today's idea. You are as God created you. You are as God created you. There is no place where you can suffer, and no time that can bring change to your eternal state. How can a world of time and place exist if you remain as God created you? What is the lesson for today? What is the lesson for today except another way of saying that to know yourself is the salvation of the world? To free the world from every kind of pain is but to change your mind about yourself. There is no world apart from your ideas, because ideas leave not their source, and you maintain the world within your mind in thought. Oh, our thoughts are powerful. Our beliefs are powerful. They make a world that we can knock on wood on. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It seems real. You know, we seem like it's all a reality. You know, I sat out here in next to this blackberry because this fragrance was so wonderful. I'm saying all that to let you know that yes, this world does seem real, but so does a dream when you're dreaming it. It's at sleep at night. Remember, he said that was the best approximation that he could give us to what he's trying to teach us about the power of our thoughts and how we're the thinker and that we're what gives everything meaning. Anyway, our beliefs and our values are incredibly powerful. Yet if you are as God created you, you cannot think apart from him, nor make what does not share. Yet if you are as God created you, you cannot think apart from him, nor make what does not share his timelessness and love. Are these inerrant in the world you see? Does it create like him? Unless it does, it is not real and cannot be at all. If you are real, the world you see is false, for God's creation is unlike the world in every way. And as it was his thought by which you were created, so it is your thoughts which made it and must set it free, that you may know the thoughts you share with God. Release the world. Your real creations wait for this release to give you fatherhood, not of illusions, but as God in truth. God shares his fatherhood with you who are his son, for he makes no distinctions in what is himself and what is still himself. In other words, his creation is still an extension of himself, and you are his creation. You are his dearly beloved son. What he creates is not apart from him, and nowhere does the Father end, the Son begin as something separate from him. Wow. Keep that in mind. That's probably the biggest idea difference between most modern day Christian theologies and lots of other theologies, is this concept that there is a duality in the world, and that we actually can be separated from God. Well, we can, but only an illusion, according to the Course in Miracles. That in our oneness, our oneness, we're clear and safe, and we're always protected, cared for. There's no need for protection because there's no attack. Everything's in harmony, and that's our reality. But in this world, that's not always seen, obviously, huh? Release the world. Your real creations wait for this release to give you fatherhood, not of illusions, but as God in truth. God shares his fatherhood with you who are his son, for he makes no distinctions in what is himself and what is still himself. What he creates is not apart from him, and nowhere does the Father end, the Son begin as something separate from him. There is no world because it is a thought apart from God and made to separate the Father and the Son, and break away a part of God himself, and thus destroy his wholeness. Can a world which comes from this idea be real? Can it be anywhere? Deny illusions, but accept the truth. Deny you are a shadow briefly laid upon a dying world. Release your mind and you will look upon a world released. Today, our purpose is to free the world from all the idle thoughts we ever held about it, and about all living things we see upon it. They cannot be there, no more than we. For we are in the home our Father set for us along with them, and we who are as He created us would loose the world this day from every one of our illusions that we may be free. Well, that'd be a nice thing to do. Let's read it again. Today our purpose is to free the world from all the idle thoughts we ever held about it and about all living things we see upon it. They cannot be there, no more than we, for we are in the home our Father set for us along with them. And we who are as He created us would loose the world this day from every one of our illusions that we may be free. Begin the 15-minute period in which we practice twice today with this. I, who remain as God created me, would loose the world from all I thought it was. For I am real because the world is not, and I would know my own reality. Then merely rest, alert but with no strain, and let your mind in quietness be changed so that the world is freed along with you. You need not realize that healing comes to many brothers far across the world as well as to the ones you see nearby as you send out these thoughts to bless the world. But you will sense your own release, although you may not fully understand as yet that you could never be released alone. Throughout the day, increase the freedom sent through your ideas to all the world, and say whenever you are tempted to deny the power of your simple change of mind, I loose the world from all I thought it was, and choose my own reality instead. I loose the world from all I thought it was, and choose my own reality instead. Okay, let us take a look now in our text reading, and we're ready for paragraph 54. Let's start with paragraph 53 in chapter 18, Dream and the Reality, section 7, Dreams and the Body. And let's see, and we'll start in paragraph 53. While you're turning there, let me tell you about, I'm sitting out here in this blackberry bush behind it, and the fragrance is just so wonderful. I just found a little shade tree and sat under a little walnut tree. I'm sitting underneath a little shade. And I wanted to tell you though about another corn. This is this is out of the Seed Saver Exchange, and it's called the Seneca Red Stalker. Flint corn with highly ornamental purple-red stalks and husks. This 1980s introduction is a selection out of the variety Seneca Indian promoted by Robson Seed Farms of Hall, New York. Plants grow 7 foot tall with large 8 to 9 inch ears of multicolor kernels. Can be ground for cornmeal, and it's 100-day corn. And that's your Seneca red stalker. Okay, let's go finish our text reading now. 53. And we'll read about a page. Would you not have the instruments of separation reinterpreted as means for salvation and used for purposes of love? Would you not welcome and support the shift from fantasies of vengeance to release from them? Your perception of the body can clearly be sick, but project not this upon the body. For your wish to make destructive what cannot destroy can have no real effect at all. And what God created is only what He would have it be, being His will. You cannot make His will destructive. You can make fantasies in which your will conflicts with His, but that is all. It is insane to use the body as the scapegoat for guilt, directing its attack and blaming it for what you wished it to do. Now this is paragraph 54. It is insane to use the body as the scapegoat for guilt, directing its attack and blaming it for what you wished it to do. It is impossible to act out fantasies, for it is still the fantasies you want, and they have nothing to do with what the body does. It does not dream of them, and they but make it a liability where it could be an asset. For fantasies have made your body your enemy, weak, vulnerable, and treacherous, worthy of the hate which you invest in it. How has this served you? You have identified with this thing you hate, the instrument of vengeance, and the perceived source of your guilt. You have done this to a thing that has no meaning, proclaiming it to be the dwelling place of the Son of God, and turning it against Him. 55. This is the host of God that you have made, and neither God nor His most holy Son can enter an abode which harbors hate, and where you have sown the seeds of vengeance, violence, and death. This thing you made to serve your guilt stands between you and other minds. The minds are joined, but you do not identify with them. You see yourself locked in a separate prison, removed and unreachable, incapable of reaching out as being reached. You hate this prison you have made and would destroy it, but you would not escape from it, leaving it unharmed without your guilt upon it. Yet only thus can you escape, to not put your guilt upon it. The home of vengeance is not yours. The place you set aside to house your hate is not a person, but an illusion of yourself. The body is a limit imposed on the universal communication, which is an eternal property of mind. Universal communication, which is an eternal property of mind. But the communication is internal. It's eternal and internal. It is not made up of different parts which reach each other. Mind reaches to itself. It does not go out. Within itself, it has no limits, and there is nothing outside it. It encompasses everything. It encompasses you entirely, you within it, and it within you. There is nothing else, anywhere or ever, other than mind. Completely, what does he say? There is nothing else, anywhere or ever. 57. The body is outside you, but seems to surround you, shutting you off from others and keeping you apart from them and them from you. It is not there. There is no barrier between God and His Son, nor can His Son be separated from Himself except in illusions. This is not His reality, though He believes it is. Yet this could only be if God were wrong. God would have had to create differently and to have separated himself from his Son to make this possible. He would have had to create different things and to establish different orders of reality, only some of which were love. Yet love must be forever like itself, changeless forever, and forever without alternative. And so it is. You cannot put a barrier around yourself, because God placed none between himself and you. So there again, we're getting this real good picture of our oneness, that it can't be taken away from us, only in our beliefs, which mean our beliefs make the world we see. But we can begin to withdraw that strong conviction that things are the way they are, and with an open mind, ask the Holy Spirit to teach us. Let him lead us. Let him show us our lesson for today. I loose the world from all I thought it was and choose my own reality instead, which is mind, totally connected with all mind, which is everyone you see and everything you see is part of mind. So we want to see it in that link, where it's eternally connected internally. All right? I loose the world from all I thought it was and choose my own reality instead. Be sure to tell you that every hour and throughout the day if you're tempted, and just keep yourself refreshed with that concept. I loose the world from all I thought it was and choose my own reality instead. Be sure to put it on a card. I find that so helpful to me during the day. And you may not need it, but if it does help you, I encourage you to do it. Begin your 2 15-minute practice periods with, I who remain as God created me would loose the world from all I thought it was, for I am real because the world is not, and I would know my own reality. Remember, only love is real, and we're connected with love in everyone and everything. We just need to believe it or see it. Let go of the belief to the contrary. All right? So I'm glad we could share this time together. Until we meet again tomorrow, tell yourself often, I loose the world from all I thought it was and choose my own reality instead.